tuning in to Core Yoga today. My name is Erica and I'm with UMBC Recreation. If you are new to this class, I incorporate core poses that I experience off the mat as well as on the mat and tie them into a yoga-based flow. This class is beginner friendly in the sense that I talk a lot about alignment, but that does not necessarily mean the class is easy, which leads me to say, always practice for your body and your body alone. Take breaks if you need to, skip poses if you're just not feeling it, and always make sure to check with the doctor before you start a new plan. Make sure you're staying safe. I think the most important part of this practice is our final resting pose. At the very end of the class, we lay on our back still for about 2 to 3 minutes, not only giving our body time to process all the movement we put it through, our organ systems and the body systems that we're targeting, but it also is a time for reflection. Yoga is not just about what we do in the body on the outside, it's about what's going on the inside as well. Keep that in mind as we go through our practice. We'll take nice deep breaths throughout the flow to sort of help ease our mind and get us in that mindset. Today we're going to start our practice starting at the top of our mat in a standing position. Feet are going to be hips width distance apart and feet facing forward. And just stand nice and tall here with palms facing forward, shoulders relaxed down the back, and start to take some deep breaths. And pick something to stare at. Even if it's a blank space on the wall, I want you to keep your gaze there and just focus on your breath for the next few moments. Starting to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. A few more deep breaths just like that. Now take your left hand over to right shoulder and you're going to press the shoulder down to the floor, letting head fall to the opposite side. Getting a nice stretch on the side of the neck here. And take a few deep breaths here. Lift your head through center. Now taking right hand over to left shoulder. Same thing, head falls to opposite side. Then lifting head through center. Interlace the fingers and place them at the back of the head and gently press the chin down towards the chest, drawing elbows near one another. Still standing up nice and tall. Belly is active, belly button pressing towards the spine. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Release, lifting chin back through center. Taking the tips of the fingers now to the bottom of the chin, tilting up towards the ceiling. Release, so head can come back through center and lower arms down at your sides. Start to give me some shoulder rolls, rolling the shoulders up towards your ears, then down towards the back of the mat. Nice big exaggerated circles, loosening up the shoulders and the chest. And now reversing direction, bringing the shoulders down and around towards the front of the mat. And slowing the movement down until you find stillness. Bring hands behind your back, grabbing onto opposite elbows. Open through the front of the chest. And remove the arch in the low back, so tucking the tailbone under, sending it towards the floor. Step your right foot back to the center of the mat, then heel toe the foot out to the right edge of the mat. Take a deep breath in, opening through the chest. As you exhale, we're going to hinge forward from the hips into pyramid pose, bringing chest parallel to floor. If the forward leg feels really tight, put a slight bend in the knee. Find some ease. Gaze is down towards the floor. And lengthen the spine long out through the crown of the head. Nice and slow, rise back to a standing position. And we'll step back so we're standing in the center of our mat, feet or hips width distance apart. Now step the left foot to the back of the mat and heel toe the foot out to left edge of the mat. Inhale to lift the chest and exhale into pyramid pose, hinging forward at the hips, chest parallel to floor. Remembering that you can put a slight bend in the forward leg if you need some ease. Hips are square towards the front of the mat. Inhale as you slowly rise back to standing, then step all the way back to the back of the mat. Lower arms down at your sides. As you breathe in through the nose, lift arms up overhead, gaze up to ceiling. We'll hold the pose here and exhale out through mouth. Core is active. Tailbones long to the floor. Slowly fall into forward fold, hinging forward at the hips again, gently bending the knees and dropping belly down towards the thighs. Arms and head hang heavy. We're going to take a few breaths here. There's a lot going on in forward fold, so first things first, if your belly's not touching your thighs, bend your knees enough until you can make contact. Keep the legs active by hips still reaching up towards the ceiling and low belly drawing in. Crown of the head reaches towards the floor. Shake the head yes and no a few times. Help the head and the neck relax. Deepen your breath. Rise to half lift, flattening the back and bringing hands to the shins, drawing the shoulder blades together. Gaze is down towards the mat, lengthening the spine. Tiny micro bend in the knees, don't lock out the joints. Send the hips down into a squat position. So hips are behind the knees here. Knees are about in line with the ankles. Spine is nice and long and belly is drawing in towards the spine. On your next inhale, lift the arms out in front of you, line them up with the ears. As you exhale, lower the arms back down. 2 more times. Let's warm up our core. Inhale and lift the arms forward. Exhale to release. 1 more time. Breath in and breath out. Walk the hands forward into a plank position. Then lower the knees to tabletop. Knees under the hips and wrists stacked under the shoulders. Untuck the toes, top of feet to mat. Round the spine into cat pose, tucking your chin to your chest, drawing belly into spine. Release back to tabletop, back flat. Then lift and arch the spine into cow, gaze is up to ceiling. Again, rounding the spine to cat pose. Lifting and arching into cow. A few more times at your own pace, moving as quickly or as slowly as you like. And tying the movement in with the breath. Exhaling as you round. Inhaling as you arch. Then slow the movement down until you find stillness. Start to make some circles with the body, helping to loosen up the wrist. And reverse direction. We take a lot of planks in this class, so we want to warm up our wrist. Then find some stillness. Make a fist with the right or left hand, doesn't matter, and just make some circles, both directions. And then do the same for the opposite side. Lift up to the tips of your fingers and extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes, heel in line with hip. Draw belly in so back is flat. Nice engaged core. First tabletop crunch. We're going to bend that right knee, draw it in towards our chest, round the spine, draw our belly in, lift that knee as high as we can, and then extend the leg back behind us. We can get a feel for that 1 more time. Exhale as you crunch, knee to chest, round the spine, pull belly in, then step or place the foot into lunge, ankle right below the knee. You can use your hand if you need to. Draw the breath in through your nose, lift right arm up to ceiling, drawing belly in, opening the chest, gaze up. Exhale out through the mouth, fingertips back to the floor. Nice and slow, engage your core as you breathe in to lift arm up to ceiling. And exhale to lower. One last time, deep breath in and slow breath out. Extend right leg behind you, point through the toes and return to tabletop. Opposite side, left leg extends, heel in line with hip, flatten the back. Give me a crunch on the exhale, round the spine, pull the knee high. Inhale to extend, one more time. Exhale to crunch, knee to chest, round the spine, draw belly in, lift knee high, and step or place it into lunge. Draw the breath in through your nose to lift left arm up to ceiling, opening the chest. And exhale to lower. 2 more times, breath in. And breath out. Last time, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Extend the left leg behind you, pointing through the toes, and return to tabletop. Lower the elbows into puppy pose, so elbows down to mat, stacked under the shoulders, palms face down towards the floor, and head relaxes. A modified puppy pose here, nice length in the spine. Take a few deep breaths, see how you feel. This is option 1 for your rest period in this class. You're more than welcome to come to any rest period at any time. You do not need to wait for me to cue you to do so. Option 2 for your rest position is child pose. So send the hips all the way down to the heels and rest forehead on the mat. Separate the legs to make space for your belly. Take a few breaths here, see how you feel. And choose which one is more comfortable for you. Doesn't matter which. If you're not committed to one, you can choose one over the other. Take a few breaths to finish our warm-up. Take advantage of this last few moments of stillness. And let's all meet back in tabletop. Lift back up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your left leg behind you, preparing for a tabletop crunch. As we exhale, we draw knee to chest, draw belly in, lift knee high, step or place into lunge. Tuck the right toes onto the mat. Lift that knee into the air, lifting up to pointer and middle finger, sending chest forward. Step up to half lift, flattening the back, hands to shins. And lower to forward fold. Belly makes contact with thighs, arms and head hang heavy. Bend the knees accordingly. One vertebrae at a time, we'll round our spine up into a standing position. Take your time. Feel all the muscles working to get you in an upright position. And once you're all the way up, give me a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. So now we're going to move into the bulk of our practice, but before I do so, I'm going to demo our plank sequence for the week. Every week we have a new plank sequence that we tie into the practice. This week it's going to be a little simple because I know I was doing an awful lot last week. So I'm going to demo the first time through and then we'll tie it in together. As I promised, we're going to start in a plank position, fingers spread nice and wide. Distribute the weight through the entire hand, not just the base of the palm. Check your alignment. Heels should be in line with hips and they're in line with shoulders. I'm spreading my shoulders nice and wide, my core is engaged, my thighs are engaged. If it's uncomfortable on your wrist for any reason, you can take plank on your fist, thumbs facing one another. I'll always give you a countdown letting you know what's coming up in 3, 2, 1. Today we're going to lean forward, so we're going to use the momentum from our feet to send our body forward and come back. Forward and back, forward and back 3 times. Then we'll lower to our forearm plank position, heel in line with hips, in line with shoulders, We're gonna hold for 5 seconds here, and then we'll lower all the way down to the mat and take it from there. So let's just start with that. Everyone at the top of your mat, feet hips width distance apart. Stand nice and tall with purpose. Draw the breath in through your nose, lift both arms overhead, gaze up to ceiling. As you exhale, we'll lower to forward fold. Bend the knees, drop belly back to thighs, let the head hang. Slowly rise to half lift, flattening your back, hands to shins. Then step back into a plank position. And we'll start our first sequence in 3, 2, 1. Lean forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Keep that pace. Forearm plank. And we're holding for 5. Don't hold the breath. 3, 2, and release. Tops of feet to mat. Hands under shoulders, elbows up to ceiling. Lift the chest to baby cobra. Use the strength of your core. Shoulders wrap behind the heart. Then press into your rest position, whether that's puppy, elbows to mat, or child's, hips to heels. Take just a breath or two here. And meet me back in a tabletop position. Lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your right leg behind you. Give me a crunch into lunge. Knee to chest and footsteps below the knee. Left toes tuck onto the mat. Lift the knee in the air. Lift up to pointer and middle finger. Chest sends forward. Step up to half lift. Flatten the back. Hands to shins. Lower to folds. Belly drops down to thighs. And we'll round the spine up to standing, 1 vertebrae at a time. We're going to do that 2 more times through. Give me a deep breath in, lift arms overhead. And exhale to fold, belly lowers down to the thighs. Inhale, half lift, flatten your back. Exhale as you step back into your plank position. And we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Meet me in forearm plank. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down to mat, tops of feet to mat, elbows up to ceiling. Inhale to lift the chest, baby cobra, and exhale to your rest position, puppy pose or child's. Take a round of breath or two here. And meet me back in tabletop. We're starting to pick up our heart rate. Lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your left leg behind you. Give me a crunch into lunge. Ankle below knee. Step up to half lift. Knee lifts and feet come together. Lower to fold. Belly meets the thighs. And slowly rise up to standing. Last time, lifting the arms overhead as you breathe in. Lowering to forward fold as you breathe out. Rising to half lift on the inhale. And finding plank position as you breathe out. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, forward and back. 2 more. Last one, forearm plank. If you want to amp up your forearm plank, keep those rocks forward. Using your toes, it's up to you. Don't feel like you're obligated, and we'll release to the mat. Inhale, lifting the chest to baby cobra, and exhale to your rest position. Rise right back to tabletop, lifting up to tips of fingers, and extend the right leg behind you. Give me a crunch right into lunge, and step up to half lift as you breathe in. Exhale as you lower to forward fold. Try to draw the inhale out as you rise to standing. And exhale at the top. Both arms up overhead. We're gonna hold here. Tighten that core, gaze up to the ceiling. Relax shoulders away from the ears. Just breathe into the chest. Allow your core to support your upper body. And as you exhale, return to a forward fold, belly to thighs. Rise to half lift. Step back into plank and lower the knees to tabletop. Lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your right leg behind you, preparing for tabletop crunches. We're going for 3 this time. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale. Last time, we exhale, knee comes to chest. We're gonna hold this one here. Don't hold the breath. See if you can lift that knee a little bit higher and step or place the foot into lunge. Deep breath in through the nose. Right arm comes up to ceiling. We're gonna pause and exhale here. Right foot stays flat to the mat. Nice and slow, we're gonna start to lift our left fingertips off the mat, lifting our chest upright into a twist. Arms are at shoulder height, thumbs face up towards the ceiling. If this is too much opening in the chest, lower the right arm down. Keep the spine nice and long. The core is helping us to keep our balance here. If right arm is not yet lowered, go ahead and lower it now. Left arm comes up to ceiling. Feel the stretch on the side of the body. Reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Keep deep breathing into the chest. Then let's untwist, facing forward, bringing both arms up to the ceiling, lowering fingertips down towards the floor. Lift the left knee off the mat, lifting up to pointer and middle finger. Bring hands to your thigh, then lift the chest upright and extend arms back overhead. Give me a deep breath or 2 in through nose, out through mouth. On your next exhale, fingertips return towards the floor and step back into your plank position, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Find that forearm plank. Continue with those lean forwards if you choose, otherwise we're holding here. And release. Elbows up to ceiling. Inhale, baby cobra, and exhale to your rest position. We're going to take a few rounds of breath here. Let your body relax. Whichever position is most comfortable for you. And bring your attention to your breath. Notice the beat of your heart. And slowly meet me back in tabletop position. Lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, and step the foot into lunge. Step up to half lift. Lower to forward fold, belly meets the thighs. And nice and slowly rise to a standing position, taking your time. Next inhale brings arms back overhead. Exhale, we meet in forward fold. Inhale, rise, half lift. Exhale as you step back into plank and drop the knees to a tabletop position. Lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your left leg behind you for tabletop crunch. Exhale for 1, knee to chest. Inhale to extend. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Last time, exhale, knee to chest, holding here, not holding the breath. Can you lift that knee a little bit higher? Step or place the foot into lunge. Next inhale lifts left arm up to ceiling into twist, gaze up to ceiling. Nice and slow, we'll float right fingertips off of mat, bringing arms shoulder height. If you need to drop that left arm for some ease, go ahead and do so. It's okay. We're still getting the twist. We're still working our core. If left arm isn't lowered yet, lower it now. And everyone bring right arm up to ceiling. Slowly unwind, facing forward, bringing both arms up. Next exhale, brings fingertips to mat. Lift the right knee off the mat. Bring hands to thighs and extend arms overhead into high lunge. Left knee is stacked right over the ankle. You're on the ball of the right foot. Breath or two in through nose, out through mouth. Next exhale brings hands back to the floor, step back into plank, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Meet in forearm plank, and we're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down. Deep inhale to lift baby cobra, and exhale to your rest position. Take some deep breaths here. Everyone meet back in tabletop, lifting up to the tips of your fingers, extending the left leg behind you, and giving me a crunch into a lunge position. Slowly step up to half lift. Exhale to forward fold. And we'll take a few breaths here. Maybe find a gentle sway side to side with the upper body. Rise to half lift and flatten your back. And return to our squat position, sending hips down behind the knees, lengthening our spine and engaging our core. As we inhale, lift arms straight overhead. Exhale to lower. Again, breath in, exhale. Breath in and exhale. This time we're going to lift out to our sides. Inhale, arms out. Exhale. 2 more times. Last time. We're going to return to forward fold. Hips up to ceiling, belly to thighs, crown of head towards the floor. Rise back to half lift. Step back into a plank position. We'll take our last set of plank work in 3, 2, 1. Forward and back. 2 more times. Last time. Meet me in forearm plank. We're going to hold this last one for 15 seconds. If you're tired now, you're more than welcome to lower down to your belly, but we're already more than halfway through. We're still holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let go. All the way down, flat to mat. Bring your arms along the sides of your body, palms face up to ceiling. And turn your head so you can rest on one of your cheeks. Bring big toes to touch. Let the heels fall away from one another. And we'll take a short rest period here. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale out through your mouth, just melt onto your mat. Let everything go. Now gently turn your head to the opposite side. Take a few rounds of breath here. Now bring your chin to the mat and bring your arms underneath your head to support, just like a pillow. And just with the right leg, we'll move into frog. So start bending the knee, keeping it tracking along the floor. The higher you lift the knee towards the face and away from the body, the more you will open the hip. So it's up to you how little or how much sensation you would like to create. Find something that's comfortable enough to hang out in for the next 30 to 40 seconds or so. I encourage you to close the eyes and just focus on your breath. Slowly start to straighten the leg, and we'll switch sides. Left knee bends. You might notice that you like a little less or a little more sensation on this side. And that's okay. Just modify until you're comfortable. And focus comes back to the breath. Now slowly straighten the leg, place hands back under shoulders, and press yourself into your rest position for the final time. Slowly make your way to a seated position, sitting in the center of your mat with your legs extended forward. Feet are flexed. Then lift arms overhead, drop chin to chest, and slowly round the spine into rounded back stretch. Placing hands to the knees, thumbs on the inside, and elbows pointing out to long edges of the mat. Relax the shoulders down the back and deep in the breath. Slowly start to lengthen the spine upright into staff pose, planting hands on either sides of your hips and lengthening the spine out through the crown of your head. Then relaxing back to a neutral position. Bend the right knee, planting foot on the floor. Then belly twist towards the right edge of your mat. Place your right hand directly behind you and gaze out over right shoulder. Left hand can support the bent leg, drawing it closer to the body. And slowly unwind, returning back to center and straightening the leg down the mat. Left knee bends, foot to floor. Right hand supports bent leg as we open the twist and plant our left hand directly behind us. Then we slowly unwind to face forward and straighten the leg. Bend both knees now, planting feet to the mat, and place your hands on the mat behind the hips, fingers facing towards the toes. Heels are in line with the hips. Press into the feet and the hands to lift to reverse tabletop, aiming to lift the hips as high as the knees, looking up towards the ceiling, and gently releasing hips back down to floor. Again, reverse tabletop, hip lifts, draw belly in, and release. I like the number 3. Let's go one more time, lifting the hips up, drawing belly in, and release. Lean forward so you can hold on to the legs and lengthen the spine, pressing belly towards the thighs, rooting your sits bones into the floor. And just hold here. Take some deep breaths into your chest. Now holding on to the back side of your thighs, rolling down until you're flat on your back. Let the knees fall together and just take a few breaths here. Maybe eyes gently close. As we slow down our practice, as it's coming to a close, we slow down our movement, slow down the breath. Straighten your legs onto the mat. Draw right knee in towards your chest for Apanasana, interlacing the fingers, holding below the knee and pulling thigh close to body. Alternative is to hold on to the back of the thigh if you're feeling any discomfort in your knee. Great stretch for the low back and the digestive system. Straighten your leg onto the mat and draw left knee in towards your chest. Apanasana, feet are flexed. Gently release, leg returns to the mat. And draw both knees into your chest, feet side by side, holding on below the knees or on the back of the thighs. And still pulling legs close to body. Release your arms down to the floor at shoulder height, palms face up to ceiling. Let the knees fall to the right into reclined spinal twist. And gently turn your head to the left. Slowly draw your knees back to the center of the chest before letting them fall over to the left and turning head to the right. Slowly draw the knees back to center of the chest. Hold on to your legs one last time, pulling them close to the body. Breathe in through the nose as you lift head to meet the knees and hold your breath at the top. Squeeze the body nice and tight into a little tight ball. And as you exhale out through the mouth, I want you to release your hold on the body so that you can lay flat on your mat into our final resting pose. Separating your legs and arms nice and wide, palms face up, let the toes fall out away from one another, and eyes are closed. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale out through the mouth, melt onto the mat. Relax your brow, muscles in your neck and your shoulders. Arms hang heavy on the floor, your thighs and your calves. And bring your focus back to your breath. Follow every rise and fall of your chest and let your thoughts come and go as they please. If your focus has wandered, bring your attention back to your breath. Now start to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Welcome movement back into your body. Gently roll over to the right side of your body and take a moment of stillness on your side. Perhaps using your arm as a pillow. Keeping the eyes closed or your gaze low to the floor, slowly press yourself up into any comfortable seated position. As always, to finish class, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together as one, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, just like we've done many times throughout the class. Today, we're going to add movement to our breath. So as we exhale, we'll round the spine, drop our chin to our chest. As we inhale, we'll lift and arch the spine and tilt our head up towards the ceiling. Let's all start on an exhale, releasing all the breath we have in the body, rounding the spine, dropping chin to chest. Breathe in through the nose to lift and arch the spine, nice and slow, breathing in as deeply as you can. Then exhaling, rounding the spine and dropping chin to chest for 1. Breath in through the nose as we lift and arch, nice deep breath, filling up the body. Then exhaling out through the mouth, pressing the breath out of the body for 2. Last time, breath in, find the lift and the arch, breathe in, and exhale smoothly out through the mouth and drop chin to chest. Take a second to thank your body for getting you through practice, for making the decision to take this class today, and I'd like to thank you for letting me lead you on this practice. There is a light within me that honors the light that exists within each and every one of you. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this class. I always think it's a lot of fun. This class is aired a new version every Wednesday at 8 a.m., but you can access it at any time after it's aired. If you're looking for something a little easier on your body, a little slower movement, you can try my Vinyasa yoga class. Structured much the same, but without all the core targeting work. That class is aired every Monday at 8 a.m. There are tons of different styles of classes that we're offering. Check them out. Let us know what you think, and I hope to see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your day.